Imagine this. A group of hunters step cautiously into the mouth of a frozen cave. Their torches flicker, the light bouncing across jagged stone walls, shadows twisting and writhing like living things. The air is thick with the musk of a wild beast. Each breath feels heavy, as if the cave itself is watching. Suddenly, a sound rolls through the darkness. A roar, deep and thunderous, rattling the very bones of those who dare to enter. From the blackness, it appears. A massive cave bear, towering nearly 3 meters tall, its glowing eyes fixed on the intruders. With terrifying speed, it charges forward. One hunter is thrown aside before he can even raise his spear. He hits the ground, still and silent. The others freeze, caught between terror and the instinct to fight. And here is the chilling truth. Every cave bear hunt was a gamble with death. Archaeologists believe that for every bear defeated, lives were lost. These were not clean victories. They were desperate struggles. And yet, humans kept returning. Again and again, into the darkness, against an enemy larger, faster, and deadlier than themselves. Why? Why risk everything? The answer lies in the world they inhabited. A world locked in ice. 25,000 years ago, the Ice Age held the Earth in its grip. Blizzards swept across endless plains of snow. Temperatures dropped so low that a human caught in the open without fire could freeze within hours. Hunger was a constant companion. Small animals were quickly hunted out, their meager meat unable to sustain entire tribes. The frozen earth yielded almost nothing edible. Life was not a routine. It was a relentless gamble, a fight for existence where failure meant extinction. To survive, humans turned to giants. Mammoths and bison gave meat, fat, and hides. But caves offered something more fundamental: protection. And many caves already had owners. Owners in the form of cave bears, massive creatures that had ruled these shelters for thousands of years. For a tribe with freezing children and exhausted elders, there was no real choice. They had to take the caves or die in the snow. Imagine standing before such a cave as the leader of your people. Behind you, the frail and the weak are shivering, their eyes begging for hope. Ahead of you, the cave is warm and safe, but a roar tells you it belongs to a monster. What would you do? Walk away, into the storm, or face what waits within? Hunters would often choose to face it. The first confrontations were desperate. Picture a group stepping into the darkness, torches raised high. The smell of damp stone mixes with the scent of animal. Each footstep echoes like a warning. From deep inside, a rumble grows. Then, with a fury beyond imagination, the bear charges. Spears strike, firelight flashes, men cry out. In the cramped space of the cave, there is no room to maneuver. The hunters are pressed against stone as the beast crashes through them. Some fall, some strike, some flee. Even when they succeed, they do not cheer. They count the missing, gather their wounded, and know the price was steep. Not every attempt ended with victory. Archaeologists have uncovered tools abandoned inside caves, as if their owners dropped them in panic. One story reconstructed from such evidence imagines a tribe forced to retreat. They had entered bravely, determined to win a home, but the bear's fury was overwhelming. Spears broke, torches went out, and in the chaos men were struck down. Survivors ran into the snow, stumbling through blizzards, their dreams of shelter gone. For weeks they wandered exposed, their numbers dwindling. Some did not survive the season. For those who did, the memory of that night was etched into their souls, a reminder that the cave bear was no ordinary prey. It was a force of nature. Still, humans adapted. Instead of charging into the shadows, some learned to lure the beast out. They piled brushwood at the cave's mouth and set it ablaze. They shouted, threw stones, provoked. The furious bear erupted into the firelight, its massive body illuminated against the snow. In that moment, hunters closed in. Dozens of spears flew, striking fur and flesh. The ground shook with its movements. Hunters darted in, risking everything, striking again and again. Sometimes the bear fell. Sometimes men lay still in the snow, their families watching in horror. Always, the outcome was uncertain. And yet, out of these struggles came stories. One tale, pieced together from bones found in caves, tells of a young hunter called Arak. When the bear charged, Arak stepped forward. He had only seconds, but those seconds saved his tribe. The beast fixed on him, and his companions used the opening to strike. The bear collapsed, but so did Arak. His body remained with the bear in that cave, but his courage carried his people through the winter. His name, perhaps, was spoken around fires for generations, a story of sacrifice in the face of terror. Now imagine the children who watched. A boy clutching his mother's hand, staring at the cave entrance as his father disappeared into the dark. He hears the roar, the clash, the screams. He sees men stumble back, their faces pale with fear. He sees one not return, his father. For that boy, the bear was more than an animal. It was the monster that shaped his childhood, the shadow that haunted his tribe's stories, the symbol of courage and loss entwined. To grow up in the Ice Age was to live under the shadow of such beasts, to learn that survival and sacrifice were inseparable. But the cave bear was more than flesh and bone to these people. In some caves of Europe, archaeologists have found skulls arranged in circles, carefully placed by human hands. Were they trophies of victory, or offerings to a creature seen as a spirit of the cave? Some scientists believe the bear was worshipped, or at least honored. His power demanded recognition. Scratches gouged into cave walls, claw marks thousands of years old, still speak of its presence. To stand in those caves today is to feel a shiver, the echo of ancient battles still lingering in the stone. The cave bear was not just a rival. It was a teacher. Mammoths taught humans the value of cooperation. But the cave bear taught something different: courage. Imagine hearing the growl in the dark, knowing there was no way out. To survive, you had to step forward, not back. You had to confront fear itself. That moment, repeated countless times over thousands of years, burned courage into humanity. It became part of who we are. But nothing lasts forever. The Ice Age began to warm. Vegetation shrank. Cave bears, heavily reliant on plants, struggled to feed themselves. At the same time, humans spread further, claiming cave after cave. Every den taken was another bear gone. Year after year, the numbers dwindled. By around 25,000 years ago, the cave bear was gone. Extinct. For humans, the disappearance of the cave bear meant safety. Families could settle in caves without fear. Yet something was lost too. A worthy adversary was gone. An enemy that had shaped our courage, tested our resolve, and forced us to grow stronger was no more. It raises an unsettling thought. Do we owe part of our bravery, our very humanity, to the monsters we once faced? Today, when you stand before a cave bear skeleton in a museum, towering above you, you see more than bones. You see echoes of a struggle fought in darkness. You see men stepping into the unknown, armed only with fire and stone. You see children waiting outside, praying their fathers would return. You see the birth of courage carved into human history. And it leads us back to the question that has haunted this story. If you were there, torch trembling in your hand, staring into glowing eyes in the shadows, what would you have done? Would you step back into the storm, leaving your people to face the cold? Or would you step forward, risking everything to claim the cave? This is not just a question of the past. It is a question that still lives in us. Because the legacy of the cave bear is not its bones, not its extinction, but the courage it forced into us. Courage to step forward when fear says retreat. Courage to face the impossible. Courage to survive. Leave your answer in the comments below. And if you want to continue uncovering the survival stories of our ancestors, don't forget to subscribe. Because in our next episode, we will face an even deadlier predator. The saber-toothed cat, the shadow assassin of the Ice Age plains, feared by all. This is Hidden Origins. The past never sleeps, and its secrets are waiting for you.